So most buyers think that just getting pre-approved is enough. And I'm here to tell you it's not. The wrong lender can absolutely kill your transaction even if you qualify. This is Jason Valentine with Coldwell Banker High Desert Realty. And today I want to talk to you about the importance of having the right lender working for you. We just closed on a downtown property recently, and this buyer came with their own lender, somebody who we don't work with all that often. And quite frankly, as we're going through the transaction, I was wondering how many transactions this new lender had actually closed altogether. But what I do want to let you know is, without naming names, this buyer did qualify for an FHA type loan. The house was in generally good repair. It didn't need any sort of lender required repairs to get the transaction closed or whatever. But the lending process became extremely difficult. And it actually started off becoming extremely difficult right in the beginning when, one of the normal things in a process is to get an appraisal ordered. And the sooner you get the appraisal ordered, the less likely is you're going to have a delay because the appraiser needs to fit into their schedule and such. And one of the one of the first red flags that this transaction was going to be a little more difficult is the lender took several weeks to order the appraisal when it should have just been done in a couple of days. One of the things that you want to understand as a home buyer is, in competitive negotiation, the listing agent wants confidence. Believe it or not, transactions you might have not the highest offer, but because the listing agent has worked with your agent and this lender previously, and they know what those processes are and such, there's a relatively certain outcome, which is this transaction is going to close. If the lender is slow to answer things, sellers get nervous. If they're slow to order inspections or reports, sellers get nervous. Listing agents start to get a little uncertain, and negotiations just in general become harder. A strong lender helps you strengthen your offer, especially one that's got a track record of closing transactions up here in Gallup, New Mexico. And so what I want you to be aware of is, many of your real estate agents work with what they call, preferred lenders or preferred lenders typically have a relationship with these agents. They understand what local market timelines to get inspections done are. They understand appraisal expectations, some common underwriting issues that usually pop up, and local contracts and processes, as well as local real estate agents that they normally work with. So having a local lender can actually really, or at least a preferred lender that your agent works with consistently, can eliminate a lot of confusion, a lot of headaches. The thing about the relationships with your lenders is you already know how they operate, you already know how the communication happens, and it becomes much, much smoother, and problems tend to get solved faster. Essentially, we already know how to work together before the transaction even starts. The other thing that you should be aware of is, when you are a buyer trying to negotiate, let's say, a lower than list price offer, you really require a strong strategy. And this is something else where your lender is very, very important, because serious buyers are aware of this, and sellers are emotionally resistant to lowball offers. And so buyers need a strategy to get things done and not just price cuts. And so something that can maybe help you out, and this is where your lender should also be talking to you to help you get your offer accepted, is maybe you got to do a little bit of a stronger earnest money or flexible closing dates, fewer unnecessary demands. If you can get your lender to do things like waiving appraisals and such like that, that will help you make your offer stronger. Having a strong lender reputation. There are some lenders where I get a pre-qualification letter from them, and I immediately know we're going to have problems. And so lender reputation, a lender that closes deals, transactions consistently without problems, is something that can really, really help you with your strategy. And also clean contract structures. Nothing frustrates sellers more than when you have to come back and do 9 different addendums because the offer wasn't written correctly in the beginning. Sometimes it's not the highest offer that wins. A lot of times it's the safest offer, the offer that's going to get a predictable result for the seller, which is getting the house sold. So buying a home isn't just about finding the right house. It's also about building a strategy that actually gets you to the closing table. And that strategy should include a lot of your team members, which are people like your lenders, your insurance agents, your real estate agents, etc. So if you're thinking about buying a home in the Gallup area, let's build that strategy first. We can reach out to Caldwell Banker High Desert Realty and myself, Jason Valentine. You can call me on 575-496-1068. That's my cell phone number. The office phone number at 505-863-4363. Or you can book a link. There's going to be a link in the description of this video where you can just book a link and set up a buyer consultation here at the office with me. But the bottom line is we want to set that strategy up to help you win. Even if you don't have the right lender, we can connect you with the right lender, etc., and get things done for you. Quit making things difficult on yourself. Use the relationships that we've already built over the last 20 years or so to help you get your process completed. Give me a call if you have any questions. Thanks. Bye-bye.